Hello, hello, and good morning, my loves. How are we doing on this beautiful, bright, new day? Beautiful, bright, new day. So, I have been getting more messages that I feel like they need to be said. Sometimes I'm like, nah, Spirit, I ain't gonna say that. And they're like, Jawan, trust this. This needs to be said. And what I've noticed throughout the time of history, which really kind of gets to me, is this martyr system built on reverse, I guess, scare tactics and bullying that comes from people who claim they're the outsiders. The outsiders being, and I guess you can say, American understanding of history, the dorks, the nerds, the awkward kids, the different kids, the gay kids. Okay, those are the outsiders. I agree, based on what society has done to use divisive tools to separate us. But with that said, there is still distortion in every group. May it be the group that we call the popular group and they get everything they want and everything just happens right for them. And then you have the group where, oh, it never goes right for me. Poor me. In high school, I was ostracized. And this, okay, that was high school. You're a fucking adult now. I'm serious. It's when does the bleeding heart syndrome stop and you take responsibility for what you have not stepped into, which is your own self confidence, your own divinity, your own strength of understanding that just because you don't understand it, just because you didn't do the work, does not mean that you are now the mouthpiece for the whole generation of people who might have a resemblance of a feeling that you do. This is how things get blown out of proportion. One person has an emotion that's completely unresolved that they've never worked through, and then something happens that triggers them, and then they decide, especially people who have platforms to speak, well, I just don't feel that this should be happening because I personally have not done this and I haven't done the work, so I know that there's other people who personally feel this way and haven't done the work. You are correct, my friend. But going out and stirring the pot and telling people that they don't have to think is what's starting to annoy me. You have to understand, I just got inspired by a quote I posted with SpongeBob or whatever, and he had his two eyes divided by the stay home, you'll never have this much time, and be productive. Don't be productive, relax. And look, it's true of both. Do you understand that again? We have a left half of this brain and a right half. If the brain was not broken into hemispheres, I would understand the confusion of thinking from one brain. We have two separate brains that we have proven think and feel and process information differently. And then together, connected, they are able to integrate things that we normally would not have been able to prior to cognitive reasoning and understanding of the developmental mind that helps us say, hey, I see what's coming towards me, which is what we call the lizard brain. I see, react. That's it. I see, react. I see, I do. That's the constant lizard brain. When you hear people say lizard brain, lizard personalities, reptile brain, whatever, that is all from the past of how we developed. Now we've developed into thinking cognitive reasoning beings that understand what we're currently feeling or thinking is not the actual reality of what we're doing. Does that make sense? So I've seen people where like the main people who are like, oh, before COVID, oh, like it's so hard for me and I just want people to recognize me and I want to do good and I want to do better. Guess who are the people on Facebook right now? Oh, I'm so bored with my life. Oh, there's nothing good for me out there. Oh, no one loves me still. That's a martyr for the cause. And I will never call anybody out, but I do not like watching people who spent their entire life up until this point complaining and bringing people down. And then when they realize that they have a platform and an audience, let me play my symphony of sorrow. We hate our lives, don't we? Doesn't life suck? Isn't it horrible to feel horrible? Stop doing that shit. Yes, it feels horrible. Yes, life can suck. But then life has a duality aspect of I'm sitting here thinking about how life sucks while I'm capable, able-bodied, and healthy. To me, that is the most disrespectful thing that you can do as a person who sees that other people are hurting. You do not have to feel forced to create anything for other people at all, in the least. This is not what any of this is about. I want people to remember we're getting closer to being released from this quarantine that was self-induced by choice, to have the opportunity to walk back out into this world knowing we did some type of healing work on ourselves that doesn't make us feel like when the world falls apart or the environment that's been created for us falls apart, that we're not worthy, that we're not valued, and that we're not worth stepping up to the plate. Please. I've seen this since high school. This is why I've never done cliques and groups. I will watch one group like one style of clothing, and because they like that one style, now they're all this group. Now they're the jocks. Now they're the preps. Now they're the golfs. And because you have one emotion or two emotions that are similar, now these are your people. There's people who have similar emotions because we all have them. And just because they see your vision of understanding from the place of where they don't see themselves does not give you the right to hold them there. Stop holding people prisoners to your inability to get up and do the work. Stop trying to have people sit there in your misery because you refuse to see that you have the ability to work on yourself, to let some shit go. When people say that word, I'm bored, what the fuck does that mean? What are you bored with? Life, your environment, your time, what are you bored with? What are you doing besides encouraging other people to feel like, oh, well, let's just keep waiting around for someone else to come entertain us. Let's just keep sitting around for the government to fix our lives. Let's just keep sitting around and waiting for something to do everything for us so we can go back to being blind again. Stop this shit. I'm passionate about it because I myself as an individual, I go through the same crap you guys go through. I know we're built differently. I know we have a different understanding of life. I get you, baby. I'm not taking away your narrative or your story or your journey. What I'm saying is that there's people who have a different story and your journey than you, that it might not be as bad as you say your life is, but it's bad because it's your life. I get it. So start tracing back why you feel something that we know collectively. In comparison, if you're sitting in your house and maybe you don't have a job, but you're sitting in your house, the rent's paid for, your utilities are paid for, you got food. It sucks. You don't have a job. But for the meantime, you have a home that you can think about what to do next. There's people who never had a home. They never had anything. And now they have the same life that they had before. In my mind, it's not any better or worse because everybody else is on the same level. A homeless person is still a homeless person. I was homeless a few times. I understand, like, this would not really affect me more than anything beyond the streets being more open and available for me to move around and not get cussed out at people for whatever the case was. I wasn't somebody on the streets begging for money, but I had my times where, because I knew how to network and talk to people, I was like, I will not be on the streets begging for money because I know what that feels like to have someone look down on you and think that you're not worth your efforts. So thank God I had friends who I could sleep on their couches. I could figure it out. I could bounce around and keep going so I could build for myself again and start over again. There's a lot of us who have to start over again. There's a lot of funds and grants and things you can do. There's a lot of skills and modalities that you have that you can figure out what to do for your next step when you come out of this, if getting a job or changing your career is your end goal. That's the point of the productive part that people feel forced to do. And that's that brain that you got to let go of. I got to work. I got to make money. I got to work. That's how we got here. Production and skill does not mean production and skill for someone else to make monetary value or gain. Skill sets is, what can I do to keep my body balanced in this human experience that I have no control over when it comes to my involuntary breathing, my involuntary speaking, or my involuntary, I can voluntarily speak, but I can't involuntarily choose to have a voice. You understand what I'm saying? The voice comes out because it's working for me. If my voice left, I have no choice. My voice is gone. I will my voice back. I could try that. It's possible. But for the meantime, I know that it's something that I am not controlling to allow my vocal cords to work. This is the understanding of the body. This is not ours to control, but we can join the process. We can be a part of the soul's journey, which is, I have emotional work to get through that I have not gotten through, which is why I feel stuck every day, all the time. This doesn't feel like my life. This doesn't feel like my body. This doesn't feel like I belong here. These are things that people say because it's true. Your soul hijacked your body. You didn't pick your soul and say, I'm gonna pick that body and be this person when I'm born. I wasn't Jawan floating in the astros like, my name's Jawan and I'm gonna like name myself that as a baby. I'm gonna put it in my mom's head. Maybe I did. I don't know. But all I know is these are things that were given to me. I have a choice to change my name. I have a choice to change my accent. These are all conditional beliefs and systems around us. Do the work on the inside. So again, when you feel like you're empty, you have nothing to give, you can't see past what's in front of you, look inside of you. Everything you ever needed and wanted is inside of you. Do you understand? Anything you feel bad about came from a place of somebody giving it to you. It's that simple. Do you feel bad about it now as an adult? No? Okay, then why the hell you care about something you did when you were 12 or 6 and your mama chastised you for it, but now you have this overlapping umbrella effect of anytime this moment happens, any person who resembles this emotion, I need to shut down. You're doing a disservice to yourself. If you don't know your emotions, if you don't know where you tap out, if you don't know where you tap in, you're going to keep waiting for people to show you how to exist. If all you want is to be shown how to exist, please keep watching TV. Please keep just reading other people's narratives and learning from them and saying, well, I learned this and that's all I need to know. People sharing information is meant for you to make it applicable. Go out and apply it and see what actually happens. You'd be surprised what would happen if you took the time to stop allowing yourself to feel like a martyr to your own cause. Boredom is a cause that you create. I get bored too. And when I get bored, I'm like, Juwan, what are you doing? I'm chilling. I'm relaxing. I'm watching TV. I'm comfortable. Cool. Then you're not bored. Don't say that shit. If I sit in there in the same environment, oh, I'm cool. I'm watching TV. I got my stuff. But I'm bored. Okay, then emotionally, you're lacking something that you feel something else needs to provide for you. That's what that means, okay? I can sit and make a video, right? Be productive, all that stuff. Or I can sit and watch TV and know that I need that time to relax and digress and rejuvenate for me. So then I just did it the other day. I'm doing a project and it's like, Juwan, take a break. You've been doing this like 8 days in a row. Okay. And I took 2 days off to not do anything except love on myself, cut my nails, shave my head, take care of my body, take care of my home. This is the stuff we mean. Still keep being productive. There's people who are literally sitting every day eating and watching TV, eating and watching TV, eating and watching TV, eating and watching TV, and then wondering why their lives feel stuck and stagnant. And because you're literally slowing your body down to do nothing, and then you're in a state of subconscious hypnotism by watching the news all day about the fear we already know exists, but it's not getting better because someone's going to keep being a martyr to the cause. Do you understand? The news is loving this. They haven't had this much coverage and footage in a while. It's like the best-selling TV show. You got to remember, these are businesses. So stop living in the narrative so much. Come back to your place of solitude. Be bored so you can figure out who the hell you are. So you stop trying to bleed out your insecurities and unhealed timelines to people who are willing and ready to do the work, are putting in the work, and are ready to fucking glow up. Because there's no more of this. This is what I've noticed in history. I can see so many times where the person who's trying to help gets yelled at by somebody who's incapable of doing it, and then they try to use some guilt factor of, you should be nicer to all and pay attention that we all don't feel that way. Good. They go fucking sit on the bench because they fell down. They need to get back up and try to make that shot again because they were so close and they have the opportunity to do so. Don't say, oh, it's okay. You don't have to try that hard. Come sit next to us and talk shit. Stop that, okay? My videos have been getting a little rougher because I tell people I don't believe in over-colonization, and I do not believe, I didn't say colonization, over-coddling. Over-coddling people to the point that they don't even know how to heal themselves. Great, you went out there and you gave a speech about how people don't need to try. Now you go off and do your life because you know how to try, and that person's still stuck not trying. This is the danger of saying stuff like, I'm bored, you don't have to try, you don't got to worry about that. Understand what you're saying. You don't have to try to do anything for someone else, but please work on yourself. I love you guys. I mean this with all the best intent and love. I'm a mama and a daddy, and I'm going to talk to you as such. So please take it, make it applicable how you must, and I wish you the best day that you deserve, love. All right? Besos. Mwah.